before with a 5-speed. Just going to do some updates on it. So I've been in Florida for a few days camping with the spouse lady, and I think I showed you a video of the camper. Camper did real well. We actually got a rain the other day, and everything in the camper stayed dry. So I'm really happy about that. I still got a little bit of work to do to it, but all in all, it's working out great. If you hear a noise, so on the way down here the other day, I was pulling my camper, travel trailer, 25-foot, Forest River. My throwout bearing started making a noise, and it just makes a terrible whining noise going down the road now. I'm in 5th gear. You can hear it going up the hill. You can hear that. I clutch it, and it'll go away. So it's fully clutched right now, and I'm just coasting, and it's nice and quiet, and I'm gonna let out on the clutch. But anyway, it's definitely a throwout bearing. You can tell the difference. Set steel and neutral, you can clutch it, goes quiet, let out on the clutch, and it makes a racket. So I'm going home. So I gotta drive, about 500 miles back home, and I've already ordered the parts for it, so I'm gonna get home tonight, get it jacked up, start tearing it down tomorrow, pull the drive shafts out, take the transmission loose from the big block, and I just didn't want to pay a shop to do it when I got everything at home to do it with. So I'm gonna tear into that, and I'll update with you on the video on that when I get it tore down, and we'll look at everything. And so I'm gonna go ahead and put a new clutch assembly, throwout bearing, and I'm gonna go ahead and do a rear main on this big block. It's leaking some, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that while I'm into it. And just hope I can make it home. So I'm in Alabama right now, and I think I'm on 55. I'm headed over to 65 south of Montgomery. I'm gonna hit 65 here in a little bit, and go up to Montgomery and Birmingham, and on into Memphis, back over into Arkansas. So y'all stay tuned about that. Good Lord, I hope I don't have any breakdowns, but I got a few tools with me, but not enough to do that job, I don't think. So if you notice my headliner, I want to give a shout out. Check this out. It is sagging bad. I don't know if you can see that or not. So I bought this headliner new less than a year ago from Plastic Industries. Now I'm not throwing them under the bus, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. But as bad as this is, I sent them an email, and very politely told them I was not happy with the product, and that it should last. I mean, it's less than a year. It's less than a year old, and it should last. I know it's aftermarket and everything, but dadgum, it'll last 8 years, 10 years anyway, right? I mean, it's $300 and something. And so they reached out to me, and I gave them my invoice number, where I purchase order number, where I bought it. I sent them pictures of it. They reached out to me and said, hey, send me some pictures. So I sent them some pictures of it. And they said, I wish I would remember the guy's name. He said, I'm going to send those pictures to the manufacturer, and I'll call you back and let you know. I said, well, all right. And I'm thinking, I ain't going to hear back from them. They're not going to do nothing. None of these suppliers are going to stand behind their products. But wow, I was surprised. They called me back, sent me an email too, and said, hey Mark, we're going to manufacturer saw that and they're not satisfied with it, and they're going to send you a brand new one. I'm like, really? Okay, well, cool. I'm talking about I don't have to pay for shipping, nothing. And I got it in last week, and it's still in the box in my house. I need to get it out of the box, fold it out, and let it sit in the house, spread out. I just hadn't had time to, had this trip coming up, didn't have time to tear into it to do the headliner. But yeah, they sent me a brand new one in the box, and I'm like, I am so impressed with Classic Industries. A lot of Chevy parts. I don't know what all parts they have, but I know they have a lot of Chevy parts because that's what I buy a lot of. And man, it tickles me to death for a company to stand behind their product or the product they sell. Even though they didn't make the product, they sell it and they stand behind it. And man, I'm gonna reach out to them and thank them again once I get it installed. And I'm just blown away and excited that they did what they said they was going to do, and they stood behind it. And I'm just, that's America. That's America right there. That's the way it ought to work. Okay, people ought to stand behind what they do. Railroad track. People ought to stand behind what they do and what they sell, and that's the way America ought to be. That's the way it ought to be. So big, huge shout out to Classic Industries. Thank you so much. I am going to follow up with them and send them an email, like I said, once I get time to get the thing installed. And I've just had so much going on lately, and making progress on the so again, can't thank you enough, Classic Industries. You impressed me, and I appreciate that. And that's the people I like to do business with, is people like that, and I will continue to do business with them. And so thank you again. That's wonderful. And so yeah, I'm making progress on the red 87 square body. I'm doing the LS swap on. I've got the AC relocation bracket mounted. A couple things I wasn't happy about that, but we'll talk about it later. Got the heater hoses and the radiator in, and I've got the new radiator hoses.
Continue on to US 31.
So I'm making progress, and my buddy's ready for that, and I'm ready to get it done and get it back to him and all that. Hey, another thing I want to show you real quick is check out my speedometer. Now I'm running about 65, and check out the speedometer, man. It is going nuts, and going up and down, and sometimes it just goes to 0, and sometimes it reads right. And so when that happens, this is a 92 Chevy. So when that happens, it's the VSS sensor, the vehicle speed sensor. It's on the back of the transmission on the driver's side, kind of up high. On the NV 4500 5-speed it is. It's a bolt-on. And when this happens, your cruise don't work. And I'm a cruise driver. Especially when I'm out on the road, if I don't set the cruise, I'm going to be doing 85, you know. It affects the cruise, which affects me in my driving. So, but anyway, if your vehicle, your Chevy truck does that, it's fluctuating around and jumping around, I guarantee you cruising ain't gonna work. And so anyway, I've got one of those ordered as well. When I get the transmission down, I'll replace that as well. So I got a full fun-filled weekend of working in my shop and to repair this thing. I can't let this truck idle. I need it so much. I use it, and so I had to stop what I'm doing and work on it. It's just the way it is. But anyway, just kind of a short video. Like I said, I'm on 55 strolling through Alabama, headed to Montgomery, Birmingham, then on up to Memphis, just honking on down the road and trying to turn the radio up so I don't have to hear this transmission whine so bad. I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna clutch it. Clutching it going downhill. And now I just changed the grease in this transmission. For the third time since I owned the truck, I put new grease in it, drained all of the old out, put new grease in it. Also serviced the rear end, cleaned it out, put new grease in it, and it was really bad. But it's not clicking near as bad as it was, so I'm making it with it. There's that speedometer, check it out. Man, it's just bouncing all over the place. But anyway, hey, this I wanted to do an on the road video for you, kind of let you know what I'm doing and what's going on. And so the next video, I'll shoot one when I get the tranny out, and I'll show you the back throw bearing, and we'll look at the clutch and see what it looks like. The clutch's been working fine, and I've actually got a new slave cylinder and a new starter I'm gonna go ahead and put on this truck. So while I got it tore apart, I'm gonna go ahead and replace those as well. And I put a new clutch master cylinder on it last year, and I bought a slave cylinder and I never put it on because it was working okay. But since I'm gonna tear into it, I'm just gonna replace all that, put all new stuff in it. I need this truck to be dependable, and I drive it a lot of places. I've been to Michigan twice.
Continue straight.
We go down to the Gulf Coast a lot, and so we depend on this truck a lot for road trips, pulling camper, pulling vehicles. So I've got to have it in top-notch shape all the time. So anyway, well, hey, y'all stay safe, and it's going to see, today is Thursday, 16th, 17th, something like that. So I'll get home tonight and I'll tear into this truck tomorrow on Friday, and I got Saturday and Sunday, and I hope I'm done with it Sunday, and because Monday I'm gonna turn around and come right back down to the coast. And the wife is down there with a camper camping, enjoying the beach, and I'll go back down there and we'll winterize it, and we're actually going to store it down there this winter.